This is Seahawks Today. I am your host, Will Ortner, and you, the Seattle Seahawks fans, have questions. I, the host of Seahawks Today, have answers because we got to dive into the pressing needs, the pressing concerns, the pressing threats potentially that you have for this NFC Championship matchup. Obviously, it's going to be a tight one. Hopefully, home field advantage is able to help push the Seahawks ahead of the Rams. In fact, I certainly think that it will. I think that the Seahawks are going to come away out on top. Speaking of things that you could come away with, look at the mob mentality shirts that we got going on right now. That link is going to be in the comment section and description of today's video. We got a mob mentality black t-shirt, navy blue t-shirt. You can look at that design up close and personal. It is freaking sweet. Going to be the talk of the town if you're wearing it at your Seahawks parties, wherever you are going. Definitely go in if you get an opportunity, snag that thing. Want to remind you, by the way, that we are also going to be live tomorrow. Make sure that you turn on notifications if you're already subscribed to the channel. If you're not, what are you doing? Hit that sub button. You can then come in, hang out with myself, and hang out with Searle or hang out with Andrew, depending on what the squad is going to be. And you're going to be able to hang out with a bunch of other Seahawk fans. Right now, after the last stream that we did, we are on pace for you to be hanging out with well over double the amount of people that are going to be in Lumen Field for that big game. So make sure that you come in, hit that sub button, and hang out with us on Sunday if you can't be at the game. Christian, good to see you, my good friend. Hashtag Seahawks, who could have the big impact on offense and on the defense? I'll tell you right now, Christian, I think offensively it has to be Kenneth Walker. The way that he played in that last postseason game, but more importantly, the way he's played in the last basically month to 6 weeks has been very impressive. He's a guy who puts his head down, gets the most out of his opportunities, does everything that he needs to do to get the utmost out of his talent. And now that Zach Charbonnet is not there, he has to have a good game, because if he does not, then the Seahawks probably don't have a good running game going. When I look at the defensive side, it's hard to pick just one, but I think the big guy that I'm going to have to grab, of course, is Big Cat. Leonard Williams is going to be the guy that we have to snag and have the most amount of pressure from, because Leonard Williams is our best run defender. That is also our best pass rush defender. What I mean by that is he is equally good at both, right? So we need Leonard Williams to show out, because if he's having a good day, that means that the running game is getting stopped and we're getting to Matthew Stafford. So that would be most important. Alonzo, what's going on, man? The 12s need to be loud all game long, no matter what, so they can't hear their plays. Could not agree more, my good sir. Got to be loud. Lumen needs to be rocking. You could tell that the 49ers quit. They gave up. It was over. It was done. Dunzo. Complete. After that Shaheed touchdown, because it was loud, it was rocking, and they didn't have a counterpunch to it. The 12s can really make the momentum come in waves, snowball, run through whatever that opposing team wants to do. Seattle has to be loud, and it has to be because of the 12s. If you love the channel, make sure that you hit that subscribe button. We're growing so much day after day after day, so make sure that you don't miss out on any of the fun, any of the action. Hit that subscribe button. This is an interesting one. I did not know that we had some moms in the chat, but shout out to the mom of Charles Cross, although maybe that's not the great Mrs. Cross. How important is the turnover battle in this game? I think that this is the biggest turnover battle, most important game from that aspect that there is in basically the last 3 or 4 years of Seahawks football. When we look at the two-team comparison right now to what's happening with LA as well as what's happening with the Seattle Seahawks, it's a 1-1 record, so even. It is basically 58 points to 57 points, so basically even. Yards, it's within 1 yard, basically even. Yards per play, within 0.2 yards, so again, basically even. Where do you see the big discrepancy? It's in the turnovers. Seattle has 7, the Rams have 6. So that's a +6 turnover differential for the Rams. In my eyes, that's why these games are close. If the Seahawks don't turn the ball over, not only would we be 2-0 against the Rams, I think that the Seahawks might have beat the Rams in that first game by like 10 points. I just think that the Seahawks team is talent-wise better than the Rams. I think right now, because they're young, they're fast, they're physical, they are that much better than what LA is doing. But what is important to note and what is important to talk about with this LA team is that they don't make mistakes. So that means in this game, Seattle can't make mistakes either. What are your keys to victory for the Seattle Seahawks? Let me know down below in the comment section. Obviously, we've had our video out on that. I do think it's going to be very important for the Seahawks to follow into my keys to victory, but also at the same time, make sure that they are getting the most out of everything that they got going on with the team. Let me know what your keys to victory are down below in the comment section. Make sure you hit that noti bell, turn on notifications for the show. Never miss another Seahawks news video or rumor video. We're going to dive into more of your questions here on the channel, but before we do, I need to let you know about my good friends over at PrizePicks. The big game is almost here, and there's no better way to cash in during America's biggest sporting event than PrizePicks, where it always feels good to be right. And since the big game is right around the corner, that also means it's your last chance to get into the football action before next season. So close the season out right with PrizePicks by getting $50 instantly in lineups when you play your first $5. Find your community on PrizePicks with the new social feeds feature. You can share PrizePicks with your friends and copy lineups from winners with a single click. Copy lineups you like or use them as inspiration for your own picks. You can even follow PrizePicks partners like us and tail or fade our picks with just one click. New feature alert! PrizePicks now has early payouts. If your player gets off to a hot start, you now have the option to cash out those winnings before the game even finishes. I have a 2-pick power play for the action this weekend. Cooper Kupp, more on his receiving yards. Matthew Stafford, less on his pass yards. Download the PrizePicks app today and use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. PrizePicks, it's good to be right. JC! Boom! What's going on, man? Going to be working this Sunday, but definitely still tuning in. Go Hawks. That's a Seahawks Today, real one. Absolute beast. Shout out to JC. Gonna have a fun time. Cannot wait. Gonna really enjoy the company with the real ones here of Seahawks Today. Jerry Brooks. Boom! Defense is great, but what do they need to do differently so the Lambs don't put up 500 yards again? Jerry, in my eyes, you got to find a way to get pressure with 4. Seattle's been doing that to every team except for the Rams this season. If they're able to get pressure with 4 on Matthew Stafford, he's not going to have time to find Puka Nacua. Right now, the other option too, and I think a little bit of column A, get more pressure, but column B is to put Devon Witherspoon on Puka Nacua. At this point, I'm sick and tired of seeing Josh Jobe on him. Josh Jobe cannot stay with Puka Nacua. So learn from that lesson. Let's put our best on their best, and let's come away with a victory. I think the Seahawks do those two things. I think it's going to go well for us. Christian, boom. Hi to everyone. Hope everyone is having a good day. Can't wait for Sunday. My grandma is out of the hospital. I love to hear that, man. I appreciate you, and I'm happy to hear that your family is doing better, Christian. Shout out to you. Shannon, thank you so much. Appreciate it. Appreciate the boom. Jeff, good to see you, man. Appreciate it. Support the 12's goal. Supporting the 12's. Jeff is a real one here on Seahawks Today. Absolute beast. Pablo Domingo. Boom. Let's go Seahawks. I have faith and I believe in the Seattle Seahawks. I want to see Seattle Seahawks in Super Bowl. Nick Emmanwori and Devon Witherspoon. I love my Seattle Seahawks. Nick Emmanwori, I think that he is going to be one of the big-time performers for this Seahawks team. We've seen him really shut down the 13 personnel that the Rams want to run. Pablo, you're right on the money when you're shouting out him and Devon Witherspoon. Devon Witherspoon, I expect to see more on Puka Nacua, and I expect you to see him shut down more and more what is going on with the offense of the Rams, where when I look at a guy like Nick Demonwori, got to make sure I use his proper nickname. I think that he's going to do a great job of shutting down this 13 personnel. He's big enough to run with the tight ends as well as match with them physically in the passing matchup. Jerry, boom. Coby Bryant will be a ball hawk Sunday. It starts early and Lambs will be in quicksand. Seahawks smother these guys. Hawks win by 17. Yes, sir. Absolutely hope that your prediction is right and mine is wrong. Now, Jerry, I still have the Seahawks coming away with a victory, but I do think that it's going to be much closer than the number that you have up there. I hope, for the sake of our sanity, probably the ability for me to live well into my 70s and 80s from heart pressure and, just too much excitement. I hope that they win by 17. Jerry coming in clutch again. Boom. Boom! You know, sir, that I'm going to take care of you, my big guy. Jerry, absolute beast. Absolute legend. Keith Butler. Boom! Get Rasheed the need for speed. Shaheed the ball. Could not agree more, Keith. That is spot on. That is absolutely nails, sir. If Shaheed gets the football more, he is a big play waiting to happen at any moment. I think that he can do so again for this Seahawks team. JC, boom, at the buzzer. Darnold needs to make smart decisions with the football. Could not agree more, sir. If Sam Darnold doesn't turn the football over in this game, the Seahawks will win this game. That's point blank, just my honest take on it. I know it's an opinion, but it's almost fact. The reason why these games have been close have been because of the turnovers. So, JC, you nailed it right on the head. If Darnold doesn't turn the football over, and I hope he's learned from his mistakes, I think you're going to see a Seahawks victory on Sunday. In fact, I don't see a world where Sam Darnold doesn't turn the football over, the Seahawks don't turn the football over, and the Rams find a way to win. I just don't see that being possible. Make sure that you hit that thumbs up button if you haven't already. Hit that like button if you love the Seattle Seahawks and you want them to come away with a victory. It just means the world. We've already seen Keith Butler's X Factor, but it sounds like CenturyLink Field, a.k.a. The Link back in the day. I miss the Clink. It was a good time. I know that it's the same. It's just a different name, but oh well. Who is your X Factor for this game? Keith said that his X Factor is Rasheed Shaheed. I'm still going to lean on Kenneth Walker on the offensive side of the football just because that rushing attack has to get going and has to perform at the top level. And he has to perform at the top level because he is a back all by himself. But I've been hitting that Kenneth Walker point all week, and I'm going to continue to hit it this weekend. So another player that I look at on the defensive side is my guy, DeMarcus Lawrence. It feels like whenever he makes a tackle, he makes a big play. Turnovers happen. He forces fumbles. He forces interceptions. He gets into the backfield, gets big sacks. And when the Seahawks have needed a big play defensively, he seems to somehow be a part of it, whether he's the one recovering the fumble or he's the one forcing the fumble or the interception. DeMarcus Lawrence, I think, is going to make a big-time play in this game that leads to the Seahawks getting a victory. Make sure that you hit that share button on social media. Don't miss out on your opportunity to do so and help us grow the Seahawks Today family. The more people that come in, the more people that enjoy what we're doing, well, shoot, just the more fun that we are going to have. Make sure that you hit that sub button as well. Since you're already here, you're already hanging out with us. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to today's video. I always love answering your questions. Hopefully, we'll be doing another one or two of these later on, talking about the Seahawks and more games going on this postseason. Thank you guys for viewing today's video, and I'll catch you guys next time.